Welcome back, and in this tutorial we'll be discussing signed and unsigned int. Now, signed int covers both negative and positive integers, while unsigned int covers only positive integers. That's the biggest difference between these two. So if you know you're picking any integer between negative, maybe let's say negative infinity to positive infinity. Okay, let's just write this positive infinity. Then you got use unsigned. Sorry, you got to use signed. Then if you know you're only picking numbers from 0 to infinity, then you have to use unsigned. Alright, so if I declare something like x is equal to negative 21, and I just made a mistake that this unsigned int x equals negative 21, and then I get the output of this like this x, you should get an error here. Actually, it doesn't raise an error, instead it raises a number that is not 21. So that means that the moment you make it unsigned, it expects only positive numbers, and if you make it signed, that's when it can hold both positive and negative numbers. Let's get back into our dev, and I'm gonna make this unsigned int telephone. I'll copy this line and paste it multiple times. I'll change this to signed int, then I'll make it this one value, and we prompt someone as well to enter their value. So cout, why should I bet myself one of this line? Simply copy it and paste it, enter any enter positive or negative number. Okay, so here we simply make someone to enter any number in any range, and we call it that value. So what happens here is value is signed, it can hold both positive and negative numbers, but then our telephone is only unsigned int, indicating that we expect a phone number to be only positive numbers between 0 and negative infinity, and infinity. So if I run this, I only have one output for telephone. I need to include the second one, which is value like this. And if you want it to be printed on the next line, then we got include the end line like this. We can as well add in here that this for signed values. Then as well we can do it here that unsigned value. Okay, so do this here as well, do this here. We need to comment this for you to understand that this is unsigned expects only positives. Okay, so unsigned expects only positives, then signed expects both negative and positive. So signed expects both positives and negatives. Okay, so let's run this and see what we get as the output. Come on, we have an error here. Okay, if you run it again, they're saying enter your phone number. For instance, I'm gonna enter negative phone number, and then we see what happens. So 0782, that is negative 0782978543, and we enter any positive or negative value. I'm gonna enter negative 43, right? So in the first case scenario, we're using both negatives on the first hand and the second line. So if we enter this, you can probably see that unassigned value, we enter 0782 but in negative, and it's giving us a positive 3511988753. So automatically you see this is a logical error. It runs, but you can't simply see what the error is. We entered a negative phone number and it's returning something very different, and it's a positive number, right? So assume we have a line of 1000 codes and you don't know exactly where the value is. You need to trace back line by line, debugging each line. So make sure you use unsigned exactly when you know what you're doing. The moment you use unsigned and you enter negative number, automatically it changes to a positive, and the positive is very out of range. Okay, then the second one, where we're using signed values, we have negative 43, and exactly it's what we entered. Okay, that was the first case where we enter both negatives. Let's run this once again and we enter only positive numbers, 9785 43, and then we enter 43 here. So you see the number is printed. Now it's our real phone number, and this 43 is printed as well, meaning anything unsigned must be strictly a positive integer. If you say unsigned float, then make sure you maintain positive floats only. Okay, if you use unsigned in any expression, a calculation, and it yields a negative answer, please, you'll get a wrong answer for that, yet it doesn't complain or raise an issue and an error. Okay, let's test the third case. We're making signed a positive, we're making unsigned a positive, and then signed a negative. So 0782 978543, then we're gonna make this negative 43. So you can easily see that the phone number is well printed, and as well our negative 43 is printed. So unsigned are strictly positive numbers between 0 to infinity. Then unsigned is any range. It can be from negative infinity to positive infinity. So that's the biggest difference between unsigned and signed. Okay, so I guess today you get the difference between signed and unsigned, and in the next lecture we'll be talking about long double float. And anything you want to ask, please link it in the comment section. The moment you comment about it, I'll make a video about it and I'll tag you as I post that video. So meet in the next lecture, but don't forget, like me, comment and share it to your friends. The more you comment, the more I get suggested to the viewers out there that you know this content is useful, this content has got something good. So make sure you keep liking and commenting, and don't forget to subscribe if you're your first time to view this.